Hello, 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 hello. I hope this is working. Please be working. Yes, the stream's gone live. Let's check this out. Hopefully this is working. Haven't streamed in months. Trying to find out. Oh yeah, I should probably do that. I was doing thumbnail shots. Being an idiot. The stream's up. Are we on F1 2021 though? Oh, we are. That's always good. So yeah, we're playing F1 2021. This is my second stream doing this. The last one was Imola, which made me not want to play the game for a whole week. From doing, like, I think I got like 27 laps around. In the end, it was just like a stupidly low amount in the rain. Before I just raged at it, I couldn't do it. Just to say, between, like, if anyone thinks I'm a god at F1 2021, I'm not. I just love playing the game, love streaming it. But the thing is, yeah, I have the racing line on. I have no clue where braking zones are. I haven't done Brazil in at least a month, so I'm probably going to be shit as. So let's just get into this. Let's see how bad I am at this game. We're of course playing as our main man, Sebastian Vettel. That was ages on the lights. Come on, we can take one of us into the first corner. Shit. Shit. Hello. Hello. Oh, there's still more of you? Alright, well, we've got ourselves something to do now. Well, we've got 71 laps to do do what Lewis Hamilton did yesterday in the sprint. Get from 20th down to some decent position. Yeah. Well, let's get going then, I guess. Yeah, this should be fun. I mean, we should be able to catch up to the main body of cars very easily. We're also in an Aston, so... Come on, Latifi. Okay, Verstappen's just finished his lap. We're going to come up on Latifi. Use a bit of our ERS here. I honestly don't know, like, how harvested the ERS gets, or how much ERS you harvest going around Sao Paulo. I'll have to check. I'll have to watch it as we go around this lap. See if I can get an actual lap in without crashing. Full throttle down. Try and take the TV on this straight here. Nah, we're too far back to try and make a move. Or are we? We went to, and we're through. We're through on the TV. Let's try and get Gio here. Should be able to. I'd love to try and get Gio on this lap, but I honestly don't think I will. Unless I can get him at this corner, I can! To be honest, these cars shouldn't be hard to get past. And as I say that, I ride.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy. Check your MFD for a...
Shit. As I said at the start, I'm not a god at this game. I will be an idiot and brake way too late. Like I did there. Okay, basically just brake as we go around. I forgot what move we made on thingy with Bobby, so... Come on, Schumacher. Like, if we're like 30 laps in and I do something stupid, I will go in for the pit stop. But I just... Second lap, I honestly don't think it's really changed. I'm in P18. Nothing's gonna change. Let's use a bit of VRS here. Try and catch up to Schumacher on the straight. See if we can make up enough of this in the time. Once we get DRS going, we should be able to get...
Okay, DRS is now available.
Yeah. Whoa, we take a little bit of grass there with us. Decided the Aston's gonna be a lawnmower for a bit. And we're gonna have the DRS on Schumacher. It's also gonna have it off of Raikkonen here, so probably not going to be able to make a move. A bit of late braking for me, make a little bit of contact with Schumacher there. There you go a bit. Oh! Schumacher, look in your mirrors, mate. We're going to make a lot of contact with Schumacher there. I forgot to put the damages on, didn't I? I was like, why? Why am I not dead? Find the alpha of Raikkonen here. Gonna take a bit of wider corner to see if we get better XLs. Turn, whatever turn that was. You can tell I don't do this much. I've done this twice. That's Mazepin's gonna start pulling away from us here. That's not supposed to happen, but we're gonna have DRS into the main straight, into the starting straight.
We're expecting some rain soon.
Whoa.
Expect the first drops now.
I think lap 15 is what I'm going to say is my time where I can't flashback anymore. But I heard something about rain, and that's never good.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Whose incident? I also just noticed the Mercedes up at the front there, it's pulling away from the track. Pulling away from the pack, rather. I'd say that Hamilton over Bottas. Bottas started in 4th, so I don't think he'd be able to pull up third. We're going to go right to the back of Mazepin here. Whoa, as we go a little bit too close for comfort there. Trying to make a move down the inside, and Mazepin can't make contact with us. To be honest, I think I may have to take that as my fault there.
Gap to car in front is 3.5
the FIA hasn't
seconds.
seemed to see it that way. Oh, is this Mazepin's going to try and make a move on us? Mazepin's going to make the move on us in the DRS, and Raikkonen's also going to take us. Some action at the back of the pack here. We're going to use a bit of a... Oh, Mazepin going into the defensive move. I've never had such a good battle with Mazepin. This is so fun. And we're going to try... have we made the move? He's still got it. He's still on our side, but he's going to pull in behind us. As we got to re-hunt down Kimi Raikkonen here.
We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Don't tell me it's raining. It's raining. No, it's raining. No. We all know what happens when it rains. When I play this game, I go slippity, slidety, and I go ragety. As like a late break there for me. Very bad idea there. As we're going to try and catch up to Raikkonen once again. But lap 5, or lap, if this rain continues, probably a lap 6 pit stop for a lot of cars. Maybe lap 7, but if the rain, actually it's the rain stops. As we're going to use DRS and ERS in, try and catch him right now on the straight. We're going to, I was going to not succeed with that, and I got to pay attention because I was trying to think of the word for fail. And once again, we're going to use the ERS and DRS to try and take Raikkonen in the DRS zone. But I don't think we're going to be successful, as we're going to have to brake hard there and not go straight into the back of Raikkonen. Yeah. We're just going to keep on Raikkonen's tailgate here. Maybe try and take a bit of a wider line to get a better exit off the corner. We're not going to get that. It is raining, so... Oh, we're just going to make a little love tap to the back of Raikkonen there. But you can definitely see the rain on the camera lens now. Well, you can definitely see the rain now. Oh, and there's the blinding bit of sunlight from behind the clouds. But it is going to be raining, so maybe maybe a lap 8 pit stop onto Intus if it keeps going. But we're going to once again use ERS and ERS, and we're going to make the move on Raikkonen. He's going to keep the inside line. We have to go a bit wide to give him space, and he's going to hold the position well there, Raikkonen. But we're going to come back at him once again using DRS and ERS onto the other DRS turn, and we're going to make the move on Raikkonen. We're up into P15. Time to get back on the hunt
Nice
for
move. Good job.
the one George Russell here, who is kind of in the middle between the two packs. He's not in the back pack, but he's not in the front pack either. Whereas Raikkonen's going to keep on our bottom here. Should be able to catch Russell quite easily if we can get out of DRS range.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag. What's happened? And it's the Alpine of Esteban Ocon that's actually gone onto the track here. He's going to read into the track just after Raikkonen, I think. And I'm gonna.
That was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're
not
okay.
pay attention at all and go straight into the barrier. I've learnt when doing these streams to get a glass of water, but I haven't done that, so my throat is flipping killing me. Okay. Okay. Okay.
There's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Okay, we're going to activate a bit of the RS there to defend an attack from Raikkonen going into the corner there, because obviously he has DRS on us. So, yeah, that's going to... I think what's the best strategy here? Obviously, get Flores if we can, but... do we want to use our ERS to get out of DRS range of Raikkonen or save
Okay,
it?
even though we're seeing cars struggle in these conditions, if we pit for inters now, we're going to be too slow and we'll burn them out. Make the best of it for the time being.
Okay, so I'm thinking right now, we're probably going to be doing a lap 9 or 10 pit stop onto inters from what engineer man said, Jeff. Alright, let's use our ERS on these softs while we've got the speed with them, as we're going to take a very wide line into the corner there. Okay, gotta think about the rain here, as we're going to do an extra 3 seconds to the best time. Whoa, we are losing grip. I wouldn't be surprised if they disabled DRS within the next lap or so here. Okay. Like, how do you commentate driving along a track to catch Williams? It's wet. As you can see, the conditions are quite poor at the moment. It's quite a nice shower, isn't it? British mode is activated.
Conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least.
Okay, 10 minutes at least. We found the inters. I'll see what Norris, if there's Norris goes into the pits, we'll go into the pits. Okay. Verstappen's gone into the pits for inters, but we're gonna... Everyone else has stayed out.
The car behind is gaining on you by 5/10 a lap.
Oh yes, Raikkonen is. Now, that's just... Is that me going slow, or is that the AI going quick in the wet conditions? But he's gonna come up at a rate of knots on us, and he's gonna make a move into the corner, but he's not gonna succeed there.
We're no longer sure that these tyres are the right ones. It might be time to come in and change.
No, Jeff, I thought I'd sail on soft while it cooled down.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
We're doing it. I don't have the
Confirmed.
No, Jeff, wrong thing. I ran out of time on the thing. I was going around corners, I didn't have the opportunity to do it.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I need to see. Are we
Lance is in the pits.
No, our next stop's onto softs. I have to change my things because of the stupid Jeff. Okay.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS.
Oh,
DRS is now
speed!
disabled.
Apparently we had front wing damage. I didn't notice that.
Release.
But... Oh, I was going to say, there's the Red Bull coming after us, but that was of course, the Red Bull garage.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
Okay. Okay. According to my engineer, this is now a one stop, another one stop. So I don't think that's going to happen because judging from what he said, the conditions are going to clear up from before. So I think we're going to have to make at least 2 more pit stops. Try and go as long as we can on these inters to try and see if we can take this one pair of inters all the way to when the track hopefully dries up and we can put another pair of softs in. So I don't want to make any more extra pit stops than I have to. While we get used to driving around on inters, obviously our lap times are going to decrease a lot. As Verstappen on the softs is ahead of us, I didn't realise that. Verstappen may be making a very, very bad decision to go into softs on lap 8, I think it was.
The gap to the car ahead is 8.6 seconds.
As we make a very bad turn into turns 1 and 2 there. Who've got ahead? Kimi Raikkonen. So yes, he has gained from the wet weather on us. Obviously, oh yeah, that was when he's gained from the thingy. I wasn't able to talk to my engineer through the controller boxes. So I stopped paying attention to that, and he actually overtook me on the second to last corner, I think it was, but we're going to make some time up here. Okay. Alright, let's try and make some moves off on Raikkonen here. Hopefully we have a few crashes up ahead. Hopefully, as we're going to go way over outside of the track limits there. As maybe I don't think it's definitely alright to do it. This is just me not being the best in the game, so Inter's trying to find the grip is a bit hard for me.
We're trailing our teammate by 18.7 seconds.
That spin around at the start really didn't help us. Well, a spin around at the start really is never going to help you at the start of the race, but... Oh yeah, there's a button called DRS, that might help. Right. I want to get a weather report from Jeff. We're going to have to wait back around to the straights, because otherwise I'm just going to go so slow trying to see where I am on the MFD. But we have actually made about a second and a half up on Raikkonen here. As Raikkonen looking a bit slow on the intermediates, maybe just me being a goat. But I honestly doubt that, judging from that horrific turn.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.2 seconds.
I'm trying to think, what race places today. Hamilton, very fast in sprint. Yes, much fast, much speed. Verstappen, big fine. Not as many FIFA points. And pit coin for Verstappen, man. I don't know, what do I talk about? I'm driving around the track, trying to catch Kimi Räikkönen in the wet. Doing really
The car
badly.
behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
Okay, I like that idea. I like the idea of a gap. I also like the fact that I'm definitely paying attention to the track there. I'm paying attention to the line and my braking zone, and definitely braking at the right time.
The rain's getting worse. Be very careful.
Okay, so we may be going on to the full wet tyres if the rain's going to keep getting worse here. So that might be a perfect opportunity for Verstappen to correct his past mistakes. As we know, the Red Bull pit crew is very fast. Is anyone on the grid on full wet? I honestly don't know. I doubt it. But okay, we've kind of caught up to Räikkönen here. Maybe using some DRS, we might be able to get him this next lap or the lap after that. But using a bit of DRS here to try and keep on his tail into the straight. So we're going to make a lot of ground over here. Don't want to get too close to him, because as we know, my braking is not perfect. And in the wet, braking can be even harder. But if we keep on his tail, get the slipstream off of him, we should be able to get him into the corner here. We're going to go side by side here, and he's going to slow him behind us. And we've made the move on Räikkönen there.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
And we can once again continue going, chasing after Russell here in Matt Williams' car. Once again, though the gap has closed up between him and Carlos Sainz now, it was Lando Norris before, Russell is in a bit of a mid-pack of his own. As we can see, the Mercedes rubber is absolutely flying around the track. It's a lap ahead of almost half a lap ahead of P4, if I can speak properly. That is immense driving from, I'm going to assume, Lewis Hamilton here, but just as well could be Valtteri Bottas, but I can assume Valtteri Bottas is the one chasing Checo there. We're going to have a very bad line into that corner there, but we're actually going to come out quite well around the corner.
I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
Okay, Jeff thinking we're on the right tyres there. I may be disagreeing with that. I don't know. Oh, I forgot I was going to be getting the weather report. Quick.
Say again, you're breaking up.
I didn't say anything yet, Jeff. Come on, there's too many corners. No! A racetrack. Corners. No! Oh, we're going to lose the back end there. We're actually going to hold it here in the wet as we're now within 2 seconds of George Russell. Hopefully we might be able to catch George Russell on the next 2 straights here. I think he may be a bit too far away though. With a bit of the RS, we might get close to be able to maybe try and get him on lap 18 maybe.
Gap to teammate ahead is 13.8 seconds.
Okay, so we made 5 seconds on Lance Stroll since Jeff last auto, so I think was lap 11. So in 6 laps we made up 5 seconds. But let's try and get this weather report here.
The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now.
Okay.
Currently, the fastest lap is a 1:14.4.
bit off track there. Okay, back to what I was saying. Jeff's saying the track's gonna start drying off soon. Maybe back on slicks by lap 30. Dab the throttle there, put our nose in front of George Russell here. We're going to make the move on George Russell, but actually, no, there's no DRS, is there? He's not going to be probably not going to make a move on us. But we are going to deploy some ERS as we go over that line there. We're going to be deploying some ERS, try and pull away from him here. He also, I'm going to assume, is using some ERS to try and keep with us. Okay.
Okay, gap ahead is 9.6 seconds.
Okay. We've got a lot of clean air ahead of us to try and get up to science here. What's the time situation doing? Oh, tyres are on. Fine. See? Nothing seems wrong at the moment. It should be a nice little split of just pretty boring, pretty simple racing. Round Brazil. And we've spun it!
A new...
I'm going to do a flashback here because I just want to try and work out how we spun it here. Wasn't this bit? Obviously it's going around here. I think we're a bit too quick on the throttle here. We haven't quite gotten back round here. For the steering back round when we dabbed on the throttle here. Turn it round, then we put it straight on the throttle, and I actually turn into the spin there as we dab on the throttle. So that's okay. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was a mistake there. I don't want to keep using flashbacks because, yeah, it's kind of cheating. But, like, I also want to get to the end of the race, do the content for it. So, I'm going to keep doing flashbacks till probably till the rain subsides. Which hopefully shouldn't be long, maybe 7 laps or so. Till... Okay, and we've actually pulled up quite a decent gap on George Russell here. And we're going to miss our braking. I actually wasn't paying attention there, missed our braking zone. We've actually had quite a good corner there.
You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
Okay, we shouldn't be gaining this much time on the... These are actually, I think the AI are on 75. I only race on 70, so maybe the new controllers actually. I just forgot that that is just not true. We managed to get the gap down on Carlos Sainz from about 9 seconds to about, I'm going to say 7, because I'm going to mess up that corner there. As the gap's just going to go up and up and up. As, I don't know why, but I'm really struggling going around these corners here all of a sudden. Got to get my head in the game, stop trying to commentate.
Gap to car in front is 7.2 seconds.
Take it back down 7 seconds, but we have lost about a second on Carlos Sainz.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
What's happened? I can't actually see what's happened. We're going to hit the wall trying to look at it, so I'm going to instant replay flashback because I'm an idiot. God, I've got caught from trying to talk to you guys. So yeah. As Carlos Sainz is going to be making hopefully moves there. But obviously can't see. Oh, we can just about see Carlos Sainz in the end of our vision here. So as obviously if you can see them you can catch them. And also, where Carlos Sainz is, the back of Carlos Sainz, he's at the back of a train of about 6 or 7 cars, led by our teammate Lance Stroll at the moment. So, yeah, this should be a pretty good race for us, hopefully. Yeah. As Lewis Hamilton,
we're reaching the point where you're going to start aquaplaning with those tyres. We think you're alright for now, but it might not be long before we switch to the full wets. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So Jeff's suggesting we move on to the full wet tyres after telling us just a few minutes ago that, yeah, our teammate's in the pit.
Lance is in for his stop. Got that confirmed? A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Trying to talk to Jeff. As we're going to have a really bad turn here. We're going to have, once again, another front wing change. I'm trying to confirm the pit stop to Jeff. Sorry, I had to cough there. This is like talking. As my pit crew really aren't prepared for my stop with the front wing change there. As we're now onto the full wet tyres. As we're going to lose 2 places there, once again to Russell and Raikkonen again. So we're going to have to
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Schumacher opts to stay out on the inters. Is he going to... He's going to overtake us. Yeah, he's going to overtake us, so... We've now got 3 cars to overtake. As Mick Schumacher staying out on the intermediate tyres, being very slow on the braking there. As we're actually going to spin it out and completely wreck the car.
That looked bad. Are you alright?
Yeah, I know, I'm great.
Let me know you're
alright.
alright.
Oh, why am I allowed to stream this? Yeah. Well, we know Mick Schumacher is actually having a bit of maybe problem braking in these wet conditions. Opting to stay out on the inters, try and get the overcut on some cars here. Once again, he's going to hold together while we get these
There's
tyres
been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
We're going to make the dive on the inside. He's going to defend on the outside and he's going to take it back with a switchback here. Inters probably are the... He's probably on better inters at the moment as our tyres haven't had a chance to heat up, get to temperature yet. As we're actually going to spin it again. So, this is getting a really interesting race now with Mick Schumacher. As, obviously we're going to drop a little bit here. As we know, these tyres that aren't up to temperature yet, we don't have much down, well, I don't want to say down, we don't have much grip onto the road yet. They're not in their optimal operating window. Whereas the inters that Schumacher is on, he's going to pit for, we're actually probably going to do quite well. I don't think the overcut's going to work.
We've moved into P14. Our gap behind is 2.6 seconds.
Yeah. Where's Schumacher going to come out here? If he stays P16, the overcut's going to work quite well for him, but he's going to be lapped by the Red Bull and the Mercedes. I have no clue which ones they are at the moment. I could go into replay mode and find out, but I'm probably going to be more focused on my own race here. So, and Verstappen, he wasn't being lapped by the Red Bull, he was being overtaken by the Red Bull of Verstappen, who's actually in 16th. Thanks to him having to do an extra pit stop, as he pitted just before the rain came. But we should be losing actually a lot of time on these wet tyres. As I say that, we actually start gaining time on Raikkonen as he has a bit of a back corner. We're going to lose the back end there. I'm going to have to go out for another loss of time there towards Raikkonen. We're going to have to build it up again. Once again, be forgetting that ERS is a thing. These laps are so slow. So on lap 23 out of 71, just under a third of the way there. Actually, no. Yes, just under a third of the way there. About 2/3 through this lap, and we will be. As Ocon is coming at us at a rate of knots on the second straight here. As we are honestly losing time on these full wet tyres.
The rain is getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
Okay, Jeff telling me once again that the track's drying out. But honestly, I'm a bit, maybe not too hesitant to believe what Jeff says at the moment, what the weather report say. As before he said the track was supposed to be getting drier and it got wetter. So, as we're actually going to slide it a bit around the corner. Even on the full wet
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Okay, so that means obviously Jeff is swinging probably between inters and wets right now. I doubt he'd be thinking of slicks. But the thing is, we're in the mid conditions right now. This may be have to be off. This is gonna be our third pit stop. If we would change back down to the inters, or do we keep going on the wets?
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Oh, we're definitely not doing that, Jeff. Your the original strategy of a two-stop is going to go completely out the window thanks to the rain. Because I don't think we can do
The gap to the car ahead is 3.8 seconds.
Laps on a pair of wet tyres. We will just spin if the weather conditions continue as it. As we're actually within 3 seconds of Kimi Räikkönen at the moment. Made 2 seconds up over just over a lap and a half. As I said, on some parts of the track, I'm struggling on the full wet swing. On some parts, he's struggling. And the AI is struggling. So we're catching them in there, but they're also pulling away from us. At these corners where it's, to be honest, quite hard to get around them on a controller without in the full wets. I slowed down quite a lot to get around the corners. Kimi Räikkönen, he's gonna probably lose out thanks to the full wets. As I said before, when he's on the inters, Kimi Räikkönen, not a very good wet driver. Well, not a very good wet AI for wet driving. He is also in an Alpha, so I don't want to say that he's bad. He's in an Alpha. It's a midfield car. To be fair, Aston Martin's probably the top of the midfield at the moment. It's say bottom of the top of the field. But it should be catching pace on an Alpha easily. Maybe not in these conditions though. As we're going to come in pretty much just 2 seconds of Kimi Räikkönen here, as he's within a second himself of George Russell. Could we go for the 2-in-1 move? Although I think Kimi Räikkönen is just a bit too far back from George Russell. But once again, as I'm saying, track conditions, as Jeff says, are hopefully drying out. Should be drying around the lines that we're taking. As we saw, I think, 4 Grand Prix ago in real life, where the track started wet, but as it dried off, you could very much see the dry track compared to the wet track where the cars were driving. So we're going to become a lawnmower very quickly there as our front right tyre dips onto the grass there. But Kimi Räikkönen, we're now catching almost within a second of the Alfa Romeo, so we're going to slide the back end around the corner there. Gain 2/10 on us there. Okay. As we're gonna take very wide off there, go around the corner. Räikkönen, we can now see his name, which means we are within the second of Räikkönen. bit more power down on this corner. Going a little bit wide. Should make some good time on him there. Here. Just gonna go very fast to the inside line here.
We're seeing that the tyres are too hot. You need to cool them down. Find some standing water.
Find some water, cool down your tyres. I love that. Drive through some puddles. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, that's brilliant. Drive through puddles to get the tyre temperature down. As you can actually, we're feeling the effect of these full tyres here. It's actually the front right in a carcass temperature. It's actually slowing us down here from being in the 75 to 80 degree mark where the tyre temperature is quite optimal for these conditions. As we use the ERS to try to keep on striking in here, I tried to cool down the tyres from what Jeff has said. As once again, we're going to take a very wide
Check
line.
your MFD for a new strategy option.
This is the pit stop change back onto the intermediate
Confirmed.
tyres. As if I make no suggestions there, Jeff's going to confirm us some pit for our third pit stop onto intermediate tyres. And hopefully we can try and get Raikkonen on this lap. As we're going to get very close to the back end of Raikkonen, take a very wide line here, try and get a better launch, but actually we lose the back end of it there. As our teammate Lance Stroll is in the pits for the intermediate tyres. I'm going to assume Russell and Raikkonen are going to pull into the pits for the change back onto the intermediate tyres here. Yeah, see Raikkonen going for the pit stop and George Russell here as we're going into the pits for our third pit stop of the race. To intermediate means the track's drying out, so we probably will get a fourth and a fifth pit stop by the end of this race. So many pit stops, and the
Complete.
speed,
Go down.
the Alpine pit stop crew, and I've become the Flash to get out there for Esteban Ocon, but we're going to overtake Kimi Raikkonen in the pits. I wonder if he had damage to a front wing. But he is right behind us. No, he just had a bit of a slow pit stop there. As we're going to come out racing in front of Raikkonen there from the pit stop onto our intermediate set of tyres. As Russell, to be honest, we gained so much time on Russell and Raikkonen here. Overtaking Raikkonen and catching up to Russell here.
You're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain.
As you can see at the
10
front,
minutes.
Pierre Gasly has replaced Carlos Sainz at the back of the pack. As we're going to take a bit of curve here, try and take an inside line on Russell, but we can't make a move around the corner. Or into the corner, we're going to try and take a bit of an outside line here, try and get some better exit into the corner. And we're going to get a better exit into the corner, and we're going to overtake George Russell to get into P12.
Nice work. That brings you up a place.
And let's start using some ERS, try and pull away from him here. Once again, but we're going to once again take a very wide we're going to take a very wide line into that corner there. As George Russell, using his ERS, is going to try and make a move on his ERS. It's actually being very powerful in the wet here. As we're going to start closing the gap between ourselves and Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly! As once again, I need to remember to use my ERS.
Our gap to the car in front is 9.4 seconds.
And hopefully we can get back onto the dry tyres at some point. I've got it stuck in my head now. I don't need to look at this. Okay, so we're going to lose the back end into the back turn here. And we're also going to lose it on the outside, on the exit of the turn, as there's blue flags. And that's actually for George Russell behind us. as the Mercedes in P1 actually is right now only one car behind us, so we're going to be blue flagged in a minute to get out of the way. Okay, I made a stand crazy. I don't think it was for George Russell, I think it was for Kimi. The Iceman Kimi Raikkonen was blue flagged before.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Jeff, we're going to have to make another pit stop, mate. If it stays in this level of wetness, inters are going to become slicks at the end. I say slicks, they're not slick. It's going to become slick at the end. As Hamilton's getting around Gasly, not Gasly, sorry, Russell from the blue flags, as we're probably going to get blue flag in probably by the end of this lap, maybe starts the next lap, to let, I'm going to assume it's Lewis Hamilton through the Mercedes. As we're going to have a bit of a bad turn there, as we actually see the start of the arrow, the proximity arrow of the Mercedes behind us. But I'm going to take a very wide turn here. And it is Hamilton in P1. It is Hamilton that we're going to be blue flagged for. As you can see, there is a, I believe, actually no, that might be the Red Bull of Max Verstappen in 15th place. Yeah, with the Red Bull of Checo Perez not very far behind.
Blue flag.
Yeah, as we've been blue flagged into the straight here, is Hamilton going to be able to make a move on us? I don't think he is. And do a bit of early braking and try and get him, let him through. You know, let him through on the straight here.
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
As now we can use Hamilton's slipstream to try and boost us towards Pierre Gasly. As we're actually going to have to go onto the grass to avoid the back end of Lewis Hamilton there, as I assume he has a bit of trouble braking, or rather we have a bit of trouble braking. Or maybe
I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
Okay. I want to try and stay within a second of Lewis Hamilton, because even though he is a lap ahead of us, we still are technically within a second of the car ahead. So that means we can use DRS if we can stay with... Actually, no, DRS isn't on, is it? Okay, Hamilton, you can go, mate. Okay. As we're going to pull Lewis Hamilton here. We want to try and get his slipstream on straight. We don't have the pace to take him enough laps ourselves at this moment. But if we can get to the slipstream of him, I don't think we're quite close enough to him. Catch the slipstream, use quite a lot of DRS here. Try and stay with Hamilton so we get the slipstream onto the straight. Right now we're in a bit of turbulent, dirty air here. Going into the corner. But we have actually managed to pull up about a 4-second gap on George Russell here. So, honestly, this race could go anywhere, really. I don't expect us to get anywhere near a podium since we've already been lapped by the car. Okay, Lewis Hamilton, who's in P1, who has got some major pace. He's going to get a race of knots around the track. And once again, we take a little wider line around there to try and get a better exit out of the corner. A little bit of... As we're going to have a nice little time going around the corner. Once again, a bit of late braking there might actually hurt us in the long run, but something is definitely...
Okay, gap ahead is 9.4 seconds.
Okay, 9 seconds says Jeff. But like I was saying, as we made a 6-second gap on George Russell, following Hamilton's lines, we've actually majorly made some ground here. As I use a bit of the RS to try and stay on Hamilton's tail, but eventually I think he is going to start pulling away from us now. We followed him for about 2 laps here. As we're going to go very wide here. And we're going to actually lose car here. And actually, as something flies off, we're going to do a bit of a flashback here. As I take the completely wrong completely wrong pedal into the start of the flashback there. Bit of DRS trying to catch up to Hamilton after a very poor turn 1 from the flashback. Damn it, I had to take my hand off the controller to scratch me nose. It was annoying me. As we lose the back end again on the exit of that corner there. Really not our favourite place on the track there. As
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
okay, Jeff's saying to stay on the inters, as I noticed. Oh, we're picking up some spring, but Hamilton, he's just completely disappeared from view here. As I have a look at the tyres, and the tyres seem to be a bit disformed at the moment.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Ooh, so we're going to make our fourth, or is it fourth or fifth pit stop? I think it's our fourth pit stop of the race, back onto the dry tyre pretty soon. As, yes, that should be a quite interesting turn of events with the pit stops. Hopefully make up some time on Pierre Gasly with probably a set of mediums, maybe even a set of hards to try and get to the end of the race on them. But we have actually managed to get Lewis Hamilton back into our view here, and actually, as I say that, we lose him again from a bit of a bad turning once again, but for the first time in laps, we're not going to lose the back end out of the exit of that corner there. But we are going to go a bit overcautious on the end of that. We're going to take a very short inside line there. But Gasly's actually made 2 seconds up on us there. And I don't think it's going to be long till Jeff tells us, gives us a new strategy to pit back onto the dry tyres. It's a bit of DRS on the straight, not much. Just enough to keep us within, well, the place we are now. As I was saying before, Russell being in a bit of a middle ground, we've
The car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that was him going to be telling us we're going to be pitting onto dry tyres, but that's just not going to happen there.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
There's a new strategy. Oh, double says also, and Carlos Sainz is out of the session.
Copy.
What's happened to Carlos Sainz? And the DRS has been enabled on lap 35. So Carlos Sainz is out of the session. Lance Stroll once again is going to be pitting onto dry tyres.
Lance is in for his stop.
We're going to use all as much of our ERS as we can. We're coming around here into the pit lane entry here. Coming at a rate of knots to slow down there. As somehow we don't get so much speeding in the pit lane. But as all the cars are going to come in for the, well, we're going to come in for the softs.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits.
Actually, I think we've made quite a bit of time on Pierre Gasly here. As I think, oh yes, we were in 12th. I mean, yes, we were. As Verstappen's actually done a madness there. He's still on inters, which actually really surprises me. Verstappen not doing the best of pit strategies this game, as we're going to slide around. As Verstappen goes into the pits for another set of
A few
inters.
teams seem to be putting intermediates on now. Come in and switch over if you need to.
Verstappen going for another set of intermediates while most of the pack opts to go back onto the dry tyres. Could this be a race that's going to pay off for him? Jeff seems to think that the conditions are still wet enough for intermediates. As we've taken the gap from 11 seconds to 3.5 seconds on Pierre Gasly from those pit stops. He obviously had a bit of a bad pit stop, maybe needed a wing change. Or I think we might have just had an actually smashing pit stop. As also Lando Norris is only 5 seconds ahead of us now. And of course they're getting DRS on each other, so they're going to
Gap
pull
to
away.
car in front is 3.9
DRS has
seconds.
been reactivated. As once we get the heat into these tyres, we should be able to pull some seconds off of them. But taking a bit too much curb there, so we're going to lose it a bit, but actually managed to hold the car. As the cars ahead of us are just going to do with themselves a little DRS train and zoom away here. Pierre Gasly pulling away from us there. 3.5 seconds.
The gap to the car behind is 9.9 seconds.
As Verstappen has gone in, I'm pretty sure, for a set of dry tyres. He really has not had the best race for the pit stop strategy. Hopefully that doesn't happen later today for the real life Grand Prix. The Verstappen-Hamilton battle is actually quite interesting. Although I am a Hamilton fan, have been for years. But actually, Lando Norris going to be pulling out DRS range of Pierre Gasly. This is
We're trailing our teammate by 12.9 seconds.
As Jeff tells me, we're once again trailing our teammate by a certain amount of seconds. I think he said 9.8. It may have been 12.8. I'm not sure. But we want to try and get back to the rear end of Pierre Gasly to try and get DRS on him. Try and make up a place into the points paying positions here of 10th place. As we, for the first time for a long time in this race, we actually see the McLaren of Lando Norris ahead of us. As the Aston Martin, well, that's one, us driving on the dry soft tyres, are going to be coming out at a rate of knots, pulling almost a full second in a lap on Pierre Gasly since he's fallen out DRS range of Lando Norris. As we said, the fastest sector 2. Do we try and go for the fastest lap of the race on lap 38 on the new set of soft tyres? I think we do. Giving it all with the ERS here to try and set, as I didn't actually catch who just set the fastest lap of the race. But we're not going to be able to set the fastest lap of the race here. We are going to set our best time ever going around Brazil, but it's not quite fast enough. As Pierre Gasly has actually pulled out some more seconds on us. As we set a red sector of sector 1 here. We're down to 50% ERS. I'm going to hold back on the ERS for a few laps. Harvesting the ERS, try and get some background to 70%, 80% ratio. Probably in about 2 laps time. Still, hopefully, we will be within DRS range. And Pierre Gasly can use that ERS to make a move. How do I say that? We are actually going to make a bit of time off of Pierre Gasly, as we're keeping sight of him around most of the corners, except once again the fastest sector 2 of the race. Once again, I say we're not going to be using that. Lewis Hamilton saying a 113.1, I think that was, as we're going to set
Okay, we don't think
a
we're far away from some rain.
113.8.
I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
Brilliant time from us there, only doing 6 tenths slower than the lead car of Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. As we actually
We're
have
increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
Yes, we are increasing our gap on the car behind, so we're pretty safe behind. But we're not decreasing the gap on the car in front of Pierre Gasly. Those good old points paying positions on that singular point. Pierre Gasly is going to come within 2 seconds of us now. I think we weren't catching up. We actually are managing to get a bit of time on him as we have a pretty wide corner there. We can set a purple sector 2 once again. We might be able to just nab the fastest lap, but now it's going to be green. Although only by 300ths of a second. Pierre Gasly is with 1.5 seconds now. Use a bit of DRS to try and get within DRS range, but we're not going to be able to do it. Probably next lap will be, on lap 41, will be within DRS range of the one, the only Pierre Gasly. As we're actually going to take a bit of the grass with us there, as we can have a bit of a slide down turn 1. As once again, we increase the gap on George Russell by about 4 seconds throughout the course of this race. As Lando Norris is actually making a massive gain on Pierre Gasly while we're chasing after him. This is not good for us. That means that McLaren has a lot of pace in it, pulling away from it. Well, I say a lot of pace. They're pulling away from AlphaTauri, but to be honest, is having very decent pace. Gasly having a very good season in real life. Put him back in the Red Bull Racing seat. That will be amazing to watch. Russell and Gasly and 2 top teams. That would be great to see, but sadly I don't think that's going to happen. As we haven't actually gained any time on Pierre Gasly over that lap. We've kind of evened down the times here. As we're going to do an extra second on our best lap. 2 red sectors and a green. Not, as you can see, the tyres as they deteriorate a bit from the fresh set of softs that we set those very fast laps at the beginning. We're actually going to pretty much even us out with the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. But to be honest, Max Verstappen saying a 1:12.9 for the fastest lap of the race there. As I think that's 3 tenths of a second over Lewis Hamilton, and I think Verstappen has actually taken. Wait, that doesn't make sense. As Perez, I believe, has taken P1, or is Hamilton just that far around the track? Hamilton is actually that far around the track. As Valtteri Bottas in front of Checo Perez.
Okay, be careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
Okay, so Jeff saying the inters are still a viable solution, viable strategy at the moment, as we've actually lost quite a lot of time to Pierre Gasly in this lap, as I try and work out which Mercedes is which. Shrinks that gap to Pierre Gasly here on lap 43 by about 700ths of a second, as we have a bit of a scruffy corner there, as we lose all the seconds we made on the first half of the lap. As that corner we take really badly once again. Us and that corner are not friends. But as I said, Pierre Gasly very fast in this season. As we have now got a gap of 20 seconds behind us to George Russell. As we once again take a very wide gap with me trying to work out who's where and who's what.
The car ahead is beginning to pull away.
Yeah, I can see that. Pierre Gasly, he's gone into scenario 7. Scenario 7 mode for Pierre Gasly. But Lando Norris has actually caught the back of a train
The
there.
gap to the car ahead is
really
2.2 seconds.
Hopefully Gasly and I can catch that train and do a little DRS training there. Hopefully make up quite a few positions in that train. I think it right now is led by Yuki Tsunoda in the other AlphaTauri. Yes, it is. Pierre Gasly and I, as we once again slide around that corner.
It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
As once again the rain has started again. Are we going to have our 5th pit stop of the race? Yeah, we're probably going to have our 5th pit stop of the race. The conditions have just been on and off rain here. So many pit stops in the race. I'm going to have to look at the race director later to see how many pit stops were actually made by each car and each team. Thanks to these, to be honest, quite awful conditions, as all the time that we've made to Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris in this dry tyre stint might just be thrown in the bin thanks to the pit stops. Okay. As both Gasly and I are actually catching up to the train led by Yuki Tsunoda, and then Daniel Ricciardo quite close ahead of Yuki Tsunoda here. Probably can get him as well, as we have quite a bad turn there. As Max Verstappen, the fastest lap holder, moves into 13th place, overtaking Kimi Räikkönen. Clearly that Red Bull's got some pace at the back there. I wouldn't be surprised if we were seeing him in our mirrors by the end of this race. As we get Pierre Gasly within 2 seconds once again, as he's actually in DRS range of Lando Norris, so they're going to pull away from me
At
here.
least another 10 minutes until this rain evens out. Stay alert out there.
Okay, so Jeff's saying that the rain is definitely becoming a problem. If DRS gets disabled, this whole train is just going to slow down really, hopefully allowing me to catch up. Or if we do have to make another pit stop, we're going to be in the contentions coming out maybe
Our gap to the car in front
just
is
behind them,
1.7
or
seconds.
maybe even in front of them, as Verstappen overtaking Russell in the background, and Russell re-overtaking him, and Verstappen re-overtakes him again, and Russell back again. This is a ding-dong battle between these two. Shows why Russell is going to Mercedes. He is very used to driver here. As, yeah, who is that ahead of Yuki Tsunoda here? I think we are coming up to the hazard.
Okay, I think it might be just about time to come and change these tyres.
Okay, so Jeff suggesting that it might be time to come back in and change onto yet another set of inters for the conditions that we are. We are feeling the car slide around a bit.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
As we're actually going to slide
Copy
around
that.
in there. As this train of cars ahead of us comes in for the pit stop, we're going to come in too, just managing to get Jeff to talk on the MFD just in time. But this is going to be an amazing race. Let's see where we can come out. Probably in about the same place that we were. To Pierre Gasly. Verstappen probably not going to be happy that he's once again making another pit stop. I think that's his 6th or 7th pit stop of the race. As the DRS gets disabled for the race. Russell still on a set of softs in the pits.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
Now it's showing he's onto a set of inters. So is Verstappen. Verstappen's going to overtake Russell in the pit stops. So Verstappen's going to be trying to make up that ground on us on the set of inters. Once again, back onto the wet tyres as the Haas and Nikita Mazepin is going to be ruining Gasly's chance of staying with. As we overtake Nikita Mazepin, as we're going to have a bit of damage somewhere that's being told on the MFD. And
Lance is in the pits.
Now in the pits. He'll see the side pit a bit later and try and get the overcut off on some cars in the pits. It'll be interesting to see if that's worked for him. But Pierre Gasly, hopefully we can catch up to using a bit of DRS. We've actually casted a lot over the last few laps. And we're going to use quite a chunk of our ERS here trying to stay with him on the straight. Dari has got some mega pace under the hood of that car, but Tsunoda, are we going to overtake Tsunoda on the pit exit? We are, as Fernando Alonso slots out just in front of Pierre Gasly.
You've moved up into P10.
So right now, we got Pierre Gasly and Alonso as we're going to take a very light turn. And we've got the back markers of Latifi here, who we're not actually going to be able to, actually we are going to be able to take onto that corner, but Gasly and Alonso, since we went wide a bit on the track, are going to get a lot bit away through past Nicholas Latifi. As we actually overtook him in the corner, he didn't actually let us through, we overtook him there. As we're having some very bad braking there, in the wet conditions, maybe the sixth pit stop of the race throws onto full wet if the conditions continue to decrease at the rate that they seem to be. Right now, we are in the points paying positions of 10th place, but that could all change if the conditions dry when we go back onto the dry tyres. We also have the AlphaTauri of Tsunoda around us. We see from Gasly that they have some massive pace under the bodywork of those cars. As we have a very bad corner, Tsunoda right on our gearbox here. He's probably going to try and make a move onto the straight with deploy ERS to try and get... I can't speak all of a sudden. We've used a bit of ERS to defend there. Tsunoda, we're in right now in a battle with Tsunoda. We're losing time to Pierre Gasly. We don't want to be fighting Tsunoda, but Tsunoda wants to be fighting us. He wants his teammate Pierre Gasly their way. If he also wants to overtake us, right now being in an AlphaTauri sandwich is going to hurt us so badly at the moment. As to be honest, we are in a pretty stretched out train. I say stretched out. We're all within probably half a second of each other. Half a second just under for us to Pierre Gasly. As we're going to be very wide here. They can dive down the inside line, switch it back. Well, not switch it back. Switch sides on Pierre Gasly. As we're into P9. Once again, we're in the top 10 now. Well, we were in the top 10. But we've got now a second gain on Alonso. As now Tsunoda and Gasly hopefully will fight each other for that
We're
P10.
catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
To be honest, Jeff, they might actually, as I think Pierre Gasly gaining at us at a rate of knots. We're also gaining on
Pulling out
Fernando
a second
Alonso,
lap
as
on the
we're
car
now within
behind.
a second of Fernando Alonso. As we have a bit of a slidey corner there. As we're going to have a bit of a crash at the back end of Fernando Alonso there. FIA don't seem to see anything about it. They probably part of racing incident thanks to the wet conditions. But can we make a move down the inside of Fernando Alonso? And we can! And no, he spun it! I've given myself COVID-19. But we're going to hit the back of Fernando Alonso. Since we've done the flashback, I want to give Fernando Alonso his position back before we start throttling again. Because I think it's just fair that way. So once again, we're back behind Fernando Alonso from that spin that we had to flash back for. We're going to do triple reds, I think. Fair, that is inspected all the wet conditions. Let's just see how our tyres are doing. Pretty good. But our gearbox is actually suffering quite heavily. As Pierre Gasly is making a move on the inside line, we're just going to be able to hold him off here. This is some great racing around Brazil, from my point of view. Really fun racing. As we're going to come back to Fernando Alonso.
These
I'm trying to work
conditions are
out.
only getting worse. Watch out for standing water.
Okay, so just saying the conditions might be getting worse. He'll be back onto the full wet tyres, trying to work out. It's Lance, our teammate Lance Stroll in front of Lando Norris. He's holding them up for us. What a mad lad. As we're going to try and take a bit of a wider line, not really going to work around the corner. Once again, looking for the move on Fernando Alonso around this bend here, but probably not going to happen. We're going to lose a bit of time here, a bit of a bad entry into the corner. Once again, going to try and send it down the inside of Fernando Alonso. We're going to take Fernando Alonso there. Okay, next target, Lando Norris, and then our own teammate, Lance Stroll, to get up into P6. I honestly, from the start of the race that we had, didn't expect us to get anywhere near this position here. As Fernando Alonso going to try and come back at us on pit straight though. As Lando Norris is actually starting to pull away from us. We need Lance Stroll to hold him up for us. I don't know why I decided I was just going to flick off the ARS much. Seems like a bit of a dumb decision, but Lando Norris, now we're going to second Lando Norris. Hopefully the conditions dry up in the next few laps and actually gain DRS on these cars from behind, but just in about 10 minutes, I think that's about 5 minutes ago, we probably have another 3 or 4 laps in these wet conditions of the rain actually coming down. As we're going to try and sneak around the outside of Lando Norris, it's not going to work here. As we're actually going to lose the back end around the corners. Once again, having pretty terrible time in the wet and the turbulent air in this trade.
We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Yeah. We're getting all straight from Lando Norris here. Pretty annoying here, but to be honest, if we can use a bit of ERS here, try and get... Actually no, Lando Norris actually going to be pulling away from us while we're in the ERS, showing the McLaren pace there. But to be honest, why he's so behind Stroll? He should be going the same pace as us, really. As he looks to go round the inside of Lance Stroll there, maybe not. Something against the move there, as we're not going to be able to pay attention there. Miss our braking zone a bit. Miss the turning point. As we're going to lose a bit of time there. A bit of a longer braking set for us. Don't want to go into the back of Lando Norris there. As we've been stuck behind him for quite a few laps here. As once again, try and get around the outside here. Try and get a better launch on the outside. Better exit than Lando Norris. We're not going to be successful. But we're still going to keep them right on Lando Norris's gearbox. As once again, he actually does pull away from us from a bit of bad cornering from us there. As blue flags, I wonder who the blue flags are for. It's in our trade, and it's actually Yuki Tsunoda having to pull over to let the Red Bull of Checo Perez and the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas through. As once again, on
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
Lando Norris and Lance Stroll actually quite fast. Which, to be honest, we expect to be going to some speed.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Yes, Fernando Alonso also right on our gearbox. As he's... I don't know, honestly. Willie's trying to make a move? I don't know. We've got some really bad cornering around here. Honestly, I want to try and get a weather report here, but I don't think I probably can. But as we're going to come back... Probably. Oh, we're a bit late braking there. We're actually going to close the gap to Lando Norris quite well here. Lance Stroll just doing work for the Aston Martin Corvette team. As we're going to go around the inside of Lando Norris, and there's contact, and we're on the grass. There. To be honest, that may have been a bit of an ambitious move for me, but if you no longer go for a gap that exists, we're no longer a racing driver. As blue flags are still out. That's for the actually that's for the Alpine of Fernando Alonso. So we're going to be blue flag pretty soon. We want to be near Lando Norris try and get through behind Checo Perez when Norris gets blue flagged over. It just shows the pace that the McLaren and the Red Bulls have around this circuit.
Blue flag, blue flag.
As we're going to get blue flagged. I honestly don't think he's within range to actually try and overtake us here. To be honest, yeah, Perez definitely can't get through here. We're going to be able to keep closing the gap to Lando Norris. As Checo is going to come behind the tip, try and take the outside line here, try and let him through, but he's not going to try and take the opportunity to go through them. As we maybe... let's try and let him through on this corner here. Take an outside line. Come on, Checo, get through, get through. There you go, Checo. 5-second penalty, I let him through. Do we still... And there's the Mercedes about to be Bottas. I want to shoot him with a brick. I'm going to flashback that because I don't agree for that penalty there. As we tried to let them through. But Valtteri Bottas not taking the opportunity.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.1 seconds.
Says Valtteri Bottas takes a bit too much curve. And we also go to the back of him and have to brake quite vigorously there. As Fernando Alonso tries to make a move on us. After our blue flags, he's going to go around the side of us. We're side by side onto the main straight. We're going to have more pace on him. In turn one, but he's going to have the outside line as he sorts in behind us. No, he's going to keep going for the move and he's going to make the move around here. We're going to have the inside line here. And we're going to keep our position. As, to be honest, with the blue flags, Fernando Alonso going for a move on the inside. Not going to be able to make, we're going to have to go wide here in space. So he's actually going to complete the move on us. The Alpine blue flags of Valtteri Bottas and Checo Perez are actually going to hinder us quite badly. That is not what we wanted. And to be honest, in quite critical positions of the race. We've gone from fighting for 6th place to fighting Fernando Alonso and, to be honest, Gasly and Tsunoda for 8th to 11th place here. Alonso did to me what I was trying to do to Lando Norris and maybe even our teammate Lance Stroll, but Alonso has got so much pace, he's actually going to pull away from us here. He's made up an extra second on us. This is absolutely immense pace from the Alpine. As, to be honest, the AlphaTauris are also pulling and closing the gap between us. Well, to be honest, what do we do here? Alonso clearly has the pace over us. I think our only hope is to get a bit of a reset with the pit stop, as hopefully the conditions will hopefully dry up. Or, to be honest, get even wetter. We need a pit stop to re-equalise this race. As Lando Norris now getting blue flags for Valtteri Bottas and Checo Perez. As we're going to slide around the corner, the conditions getting quite bad now. I'm expecting Jeff maybe to tell us to maybe pit onto the full wet tyres once again for the second time in this race. As we slide around a few corners right here. As we're going to lose the front end that time actually. As, yeah, we're going to lose quite a bit of time to Fernando Alonso here. On straight, and actually mainly it's the main centre of our screen at the moment that's actually getting the most.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
As Fernando Alonso having a bit of a bad turn, but a very good exit onto turn 2. Maybe even turn 3 if I'm being here. No, I think they used to do turn 2 there. As Fernando Alonso going around the corner, we're going to try and get...
The rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while.
Okay, so just saying the track conditions are actually easing off now. The rain is still pouring down. But hopefully by the end of this race, maybe even the last 10 laps, we're actually going to be able to go and onto soft tyres again to do that last final stint on dry tyres.
The tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Okay, so Jeff's saying that conditions, to be honest, he said that trying to be drying off, but since it's still raining, maybe he's thinking of maybe going onto the full wet tyres. So that will actually be interesting to see what engineer actually suggests for us to do. But let's use a bit of VRS here. Catch up to Fernando Alonso here. And we're going to break a bit earlier there. Try and take the outer line for Fernando Alonso there. But to be honest, it hasn't worked for us there. It also may have been me not paying attention, trying to play it off as a tactical decision. But we're actually going to flash it back there. I want to try and see if I can set myself like a limit on the game plan the flashback to do. But we are actually going to lose some time to Alonso in the chicane there. Actually, we're going to lose quite a lot of time, almost a second to Fernando Alonso there. As Fernando Alonso going to be honest, quite catching up once again to the back end of the McLaren of Lando Norris, who's once again stuck behind Lance Stroll. As we've actually managed to catch up the train here, as Lance Stroll seems to be going quite slow here. Maybe he also is maybe losing a bit of the tyre grip from the intermediates from the wet conditions. Might be thinking himself to go onto the full wet tyres, but I'm not completely sure. Since our engineer hasn't told us that the wet tyres may be a better option here. He's kind of in the middle at the moment. Maybe the conditions might be a bit wet for the intermediates. But now, I'm pretty sure between me and Lance Stroll it's only about 2 seconds.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance.
I was going to hit our front wing to the back of Fernando Alonso there. With a bit of hard braking in the very very damp conditions here. As Fernando Alonso is going to be pulling away again. Honestly, I'm expecting Jeff to tell us to come in for our 6th pit stop here. Onto the full wet tyres. Or maybe, do we risk it, go the last 11 laps? Or maybe the tyres aren't the best option if we're going to drift. Drift around that corner a bit. And maybe try and see if there's a gap between Alonso taking a bit of the grass there. Because I'll try and take the inside line on Alonso, but that obviously didn't work. There wasn't enough of a gap there. As there's a car in front of us. It seems to be going slow. Thinking maybe that's the oh my god. That might be the Haas of Mick Schumacher, actually, and the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen, or Antonio Giovinazzi there, who's just been passed by the 2nd and 3rd places of Checo Perez and Valtteri Bottas. As I didn't even notice, we're into the last corner here. And we're on to the last 10 laps of the race here, as we have a train of about 4 or 5 of us here. So notice actually dropped back a bit from Pierre Gasly. Maybe he's not faring too well in the damp conditions. To be fair, neither are we really. Although we are managing to keep quite a bit of a small gap to Fernando Alonso here. But honestly, I think we might have to settle for maybe a P9, maybe P8, maybe. We might be able to get this move on Fernando Alonso if we put our heads down in these last 10 laps. To be honest, if Stroll can keep them where they are, we might be able to do a little bit of shimming round while the cars are in front of us. are going around the Haas and Alfa Romeo as we take a really bad corner there. Lots of oversteer there. Not oversteer, understeer rather. As we lose the back end, we're going to use a lot of ARS here to keep up Fernando Alonso. And that little slip and slide we had there. And the wide turn, so we're going to go down to 60% ERS, maybe even 50%. As we're actually going to come right up to the gearbox. We're literally like a hair's breadth away from Fernando Alonso's gearbox there. As he's going to pull away again. I think we need to harness the DRS. Thanks to... As we're going to have a bit of pace on Fernando Alonso here. Break a bit earlier, see if we can catch him. Send us do a bit of a send on the inside line. It's not going to happen there. As we get very close to the back end of Fernando Alonso once again. As I need to move back a bit because my hand is actually getting caught under my desk. As we're actually going to lose it a bit. And we're going to be overtaken by Pierre Gasly.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
Honestly, I'm thinking the full wets might be a risk that we might undertake, but to be honest, with only almost 8 laps left in the race now, I really don't think it's a viable strategy to go for another pit stop here. As we're actually now
Yeah,
at the
the
gap
teammate
to
ahead is 2.5 seconds.
Okay, so between us and Lance Stroll, there's 2.5 seconds. Pierre Gasly is actually going to start pulling away from us here. Same as Fernando Alonso did when he overtook us when we were under the blue flags. We're back into P10. As Verstappen is actually catching Yuki Tsunoda at a rate of knots there. We're probably going to be seeing him in a battle for P10 by the end of the race. As a bit of commotion up ahead. As Norris, I think, made a move. No, it's us going around the back markers of Schumacher as we actually make contact with Mick Schumacher there. To be honest, there's not really many of it. As we actually collide with the back of Pierre Gasly. Thanks to a bit of late braking there from us trying to get around the inside line, which actually didn't work in the end. Let's try and put it full in here. We're going to have to make some time up now if we actually want to get that place back from Gasly by the end of the race there. We're going to have to make a bit of our ERS here. We have 100%, so we shouldn't be worried about putting a lot of it into this straight to try and catch Pierre Gasly down here. So we're going to come at him quite a rate of knots, close that gap quite a lot, just lots of DRS here. As we're going to go right up to the gearbox with Pierre Gasly. As he's actually going to get a really good line as we're going to crash off the track. We're being in the turbulent air of Pierre Gasly. As I try and take the inside line here, see if it would have worked. Obviously it doesn't. We have quite a bad exit off of the turn there. As, to be honest, Pierre Gasly, I think he's going to be able to hold that P9 from us. And Verstappen might, to be honest, be able to make a move, so he might be out of the points paying positions by the end of the race. As Verstappen coming from probably last place as well. He's done a monster job, same as what Hamilton did in the sprint race yesterday, got 20th place from the back of the grid from the sprint, from his disqualification from qualifying. As we're going to make a move down the inside of Pierre Gasly. We're going to take a bit too much curve. Pierre Gasly probably going to slide behind us. Probably not.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Not really, Jeff. We did take a bit too much curve there. But we're back chasing the gearbox of Fernando Alonso. once again we have 100% ERS to go into the straight, so we're going to use a lot of it here, try and catch up to the back end of Fernando Alonso. As once again, there's another car in the mix of Antonio Giovinazzi, who should be blue flagged at the moment. Yeah, there goes the blue flags mark, because I didn't see them on the straight, I was quite confused. But to be honest, if Alonso can't get past him before the corner, I'm not going to be able to get past him before the corner. This is going to hold us back massively, but he actually gets out of our way. What a lad there. Gets us through. To be honest, I honestly genuinely thought he's not going to be able to let us through till at least up here. I thought we were going to lose so much time to Alonso here, but we've actually kind of gained time for them having to overtake on the straights, probably using some ERS there. As we're going to come right up to the gearbox once again, Fernando Alonso, and we're going to do a lot of oversteer there, get onto the grass. So I get the hiccups all of a sudden. As once again, Fernando Alonso going to pull away from us. Once again, we have 100% ERS here. We're going to use quite a lot of that for the final 5 laps of the race. 5-6 laps of the race, rather. As probably goes 60% here.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Yeah, Jeff, I know we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. That's why I'm trying to get past Alonso so I can do a little bit of time management for the end of the race. Hopefully secure the P8 here, but to be honest, I think we're going to be stuck in P9. But to be honest, I've had so much fun racing this race. It's such an action-packed race from a spin at the start to get back into point-bank stations in last place. Verstappen's horrible pit stop strategy. And to be honest, my horrible driving. Because we're going to take a bit of a wide, we're going to try and get a bit of pace out of my exit, but we're going to lose the back end. We're going to lose again, we're going to take the grass a bit there. I'm going to lose too much time to Fernando Alonso here, probably just half a second. So the tyres are going to be having a bit too much heat in them at the moment. Jeff maybe might tell us to go find some more puddles to go and drive through. We're actually going to have 100% ERS again. So that means we're making about 40% of our ERS back each lap. Go down to about 60% ERS. This is going to give us a massive boost, knowing that knowledge that we have so much ERS to use on these final parts of the lap here. As we're going to lift off just to drift around the corner there. Not much braking actually needed to go around the final turn 2. Going to use a bit of ERS here to try and catch up to Fernando Alonso. Try and get P8 in these last few laps. To be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. Unless for some reason his AI does a Verstappen and tries and does a pretty bad decision as the track is dried out partly by the end of the race, and maybe the AI takes a very bad decision for the final lap of the race to move back onto the dry tyres, but I honestly don't think that's going to happen as the race starts again as soon as I start talking about that. But we are going to keep on the tail of Fernando Alonso here. As we try and make a move around the inside line, but we're not going to be able to make it. To be honest, that's a flashback moment. Fernando Alonso, he took the line, didn't really notice that I was so close to his back end. To be honest, I was surprised I didn't actually spin him out, rather he spun me out. Somehow. Oh, and I accidentally pressed the brakes there, what am I doing? I'm an idiot.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
And to be honest, Verstappen has actually disappeared from our radar. He hasn't actually been able to overtake Yuki Tsunoda. As I'm trying to find him on the mini-lap. He's still pretty much right behind him. Once again, we're going to come quite close to the gearbox for Fernando Alonso back here. No, Alonso's going to quite tight into the corner. It's going to take a very wide line there. Try and take Alonso on the outside, but that didn't work, obviously. As we actually lost quite a bit of time from Alonso. I've got to learn patience around these corners in the way. Once again, taking a bit too much of the curve there. Going a bit on the grass for one of the turns there. As Fernando Alonso really used our ERS here, but we're going to hit the curb and we're going to do a bit of spinning and we spun out. Okay, so once again, 100% ERS, we're going to try and catch Fernando Alonso here. We're going to take a very wide line, have a bit of a slide around the corner there. I'm going to save a bit of my ERS for the second straight this time round actually, because I believe I might be able to get it. As we actually take a bit too much curve there, go once again onto the grass.
Tyre condition is still looking good.
That's good, Jeff, that's definitely good. Do a bit of late braking here, we can go around that corner a bit wider than the racing might suggest. That's going to gain us a lot of time here on Fernando Alonso. Get a bit of an early brake there so we can accelerate better off the corner.
We have 5 laps of fuel
We're going to try
remaining.
and take the inside of Fernando Alonso. Steep track limits. Going to just pull back a bit because we'd have to probably give the position back anyway for an illegal overtake while we are off the track. As somehow we're not colliding with Fernando Alonso around that corner as our front wing is literally a snail's pace away. So we're going to go across the inside line again, and Fernando Alonso, look in your mirrors, you Spanish bitch. Fernando Alonso once again squeezing us out in the corner. He is very stubborn, does not want to give us the space into that last corner. I probably should have learned that by now, but let's just save a bit of our ERS here. Use it on the straight to come up to the tail end of Fernando Alonso. As we're actually going to collide with him around the corner. A bit too much pace into the corner. Into the first corner. Deploying ERS round the bend. This is the penultimate lap, so we're going to be able to use... And Lewis Hamilton has actually finished the race. So that means technically this is going to be our last lap because it will finish us on this lap. As Verstappen overtakes Tsunoda. As Tsunoda retakes the place back on him. As we're actually going to slam into the back end of Lando Norris. We had a bit of a lock up on the brakes there. Fernando Alonso! We're going to get around Fernando Alonso on the final lap for us. We're going to take a very wide line around the corner. Lando Norris stuck behind our teammate Lance Stroll there, so we're actually going to make a little bit of contact here. We're going to fall back a bit because I actually set the race up when we didn't put the right damage on. As somehow on that corner once again, gosh, the AI really not wanting to give us space to actually get around the corner. They like squeezing us out around there. So we're going to accelerate a bit around the corner. Use all our ERS onto this car. Sure, Lando Norris will be too. He wants to keep that P7. That he's going to come out on top here as our ERS. The battery's actually done, and we're going to come home in P8.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
To be honest, I would like to do the final lap. I honestly think they could have taken Lando Norris. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to be getting driver of the day as I can get a bit closer now to my desk. A bit closer to my microphone for you guys.
A great race then.
Obviously I'd sit back a bit because otherwise my hands would be in the desk with the
fantastic win here at Interlagos. Anthony Davidson, a resounding
that
victory
was
today.
such an
What
exhilarating
set them
race.
apart
So
from the
far,
rest?
such good racing.
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important.
As
There's
I
not
said,
much
I've got to
grip
look
out
at
there
the
at
race
the best
track
of
to
times,
see
so
how
it's
many
10
pit
times
stops
worse
we
if you're out there
actually
on
had to
cold
make
tyres. So the way they kept the
round
rubber in its
that.
proper operating window was a
That.
huge advantage today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Okay. Let me just turn this down a bit so you can hear me a bit better. So yeah, let's look at the race director here.
Some amazing talents out on the track today. But Anthony,
The winner
who would
is
you
going to
pick
be
as your
Lando Norris,
driver
and
of the day?
Daniel
is gonna
Ricciardo
come out
certainly
as,
impressed me today. An
Daniel
incredible
Ricciardo,
performance.
who's in P4,
Well,
started
Ants, an end to
P12
another
on the grid.
fantastic weekend of
We've
racing.
lost 2
Thanks to
places.
everyone who joined
Lance
us,
Stroll
and we'll
has
see
lost
you
2
for the next
places.
one.
I want to save the replay here. And let's just look at the race director here. Look at the amount of pit stops made. Max Verstappen here. He had 8 pit stops in total. 8 pit stops for Max Verstappen. That is just insane for Max Verstappen. He started on the hard, so obviously going for a 2-stop, probably hards to softs. Then he went on the inters for a single lap, which to be honest completely baffles me, as he goes on to softs the next lap and then back onto inters a lap later. He then pits onto the full wets like everyone else, then back onto the inters, then onto softs, then onto the inters again. And did he make another pit stop? No, he doesn't. That is completely, like, astounding. Carlos Sainz making 3, obviously he's DNF, but I think everyone else apart from him made 5. But Max Verstappen made 8 pit stops and still managed to come 12th. Just shows how good of a driver he is. Any incidents? Yep, me crashing with Bottas, me exceeding track limits, and me exceeding track. So Carlos Sainz actually comes out with a mechanical failure. I thought he actually spun out on the... and actually Sergio Perez colliding with me lap 1. That is when I got spun out. I see now, as I managed to hit, as Valtteri Bottas actually hits me as well. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah. As let's just watch the highlights. I want to see what it thinks is the highlights. I'll turn it up a bit for you guys again. Here I go round the corner. And this is where I'm going to hit Checo Perez and actually spin the car. Actually, I didn't actually realise that actually in the time of the race, I actually collided my rear wing with the back of the wing. Okay. And then lap 3. This is Mick Schumacher here. I'm going to take the inside line. I can't remember doing this. It was lap 3. Also, you gotta love this. Lap 4, this must be me overtaking Mick Schumacher. Oh, and that's the spin from Esteban Ocon that we saw quite early in the race. Yeah, we can't swap between drivers here. Oh, that's a nice camera shot there. Okay, lap 20. This is when it's raining. We can't really see much here. Once again following me. That's when I collided with the wall. This is when we pitted onto the full wet tyres, I'm pretty sure. When I had to fix my wing. Lap 48, what happened on lap 48? I hit the back of Pierre Gasly. Used him as a bit of a moving brake. Lap 64, this must be my overtake on Pierre Gasly. Yes, as I did the inside line as a corner. Didn't actually realise that in the actual race there was quite a bit of contact there between us. Then lap 70, that would be the finish of the race for us to be in P8. We didn't actually get to do our lap 71. But to be honest, all in all, that was a cracking race from us there. So I was quite sad not to get driver of the day there. I've got such a sore throat now, and I'm so annoyed at it. Okay. I mean, I could do some my team career mode, but I can't really be bothered to go round Zandvoort right now. But honestly, guys, I think that's where I'm going to end the stream off for today. So, as I said, hope you had fun. Like and sub, and I stream F1 whenever I can because I have A-level schoolwork. So, yeah. Goodbye.